Yes, ABOUD, and I live on Burnett Hill Road in Livingston. And I have sat here now for nearly 2 hours listening to the discussion at hand. This is my first time being present for any virtual or live meeting of this nature. My concern is that of the safety of the children. However, I have not heard any discussion of that. All I've heard in nearly 2 hours is all of you commend yourselves and each other about the greatness that you've done. So I ask you, why are you not focused on the actual safety of the children and the actual data as to the threat of this actual virus? Anyone?
You were very broken up, Mr. Dowley.
I can repeat that.
I think what I heard you say is, why are we need to focus, or why aren't we focused on the safety of the students? Is that your question?
What I said was, I've sat here for nearly 2 hours and have not heard any of you discuss the safety of the children, but rather I've heard you commend yourselves and each other for the great works that you've done. Why are we not discussing the safety of the children first and the data to back up the science as to whether or not the masks are even effective?
All I can do is try to reassure you, Mr. Donnelly, that the safety of our students and our staff is what's weighing so heavy on us. Why we haven't announced a plan yet, why we're asking the community and the staff for feedback and input. It guides our discussions every day in our committees. It guides our discussions as an administrative team. It is something that weighs heavy on every single one of us. I can't speak for the whole board, but I know it does because I've spoken to each member of the board. It is our primary concern, our primary focus, and I thought I had touched upon it, but if I didn't, let me use this opportunity to reassure you that everybody you see on the screen is as a primary number one concern is the safety and the health and the security of our staff and our students.
Then why have you spoken exclusively amongst yourselves about yourselves and not the safety of the students and not the data or the science behind the actual virus? Why have you not done that? We've wasted 2 hours here talking about nonsense, not the safety of our children at all. I have 3 children in the school system. You guys have not instilled confidence in me, but rather the opposite, shown such a high level of incompetence. It's ridiculous. I pay $40,000 a year in property taxes for my students to attend this school, which is supposedly one of the best in the state, and yet you're talking and talking and talking, and you've not touched on the safety of the children nor the data to support it. The 6 feet distancing.
Mr. Dowley, I would like to, on behalf of the board as president, assure you that what you heard tonight as part of the process was a description of the work that is going on that may not have been totally addressed each item tonight, but you were given an overview of the different committees, what they have been discussing, and each of those committees is made up of a group, a varied group of people, and every one of those committees start their discussion with the safety of students and staff at heart. I would ask you that if you have suggestions, we are more than delighted to hear them. Your voice is important. We are not here to pat each other on the back in any such way. The work that we are here to do is to come up with a plan that will be not only thoughtful, it is based on science and data and the information that we've been given and that we still seek, so that we know that whatever our ultimate plan is, the children and the staff will be safe, and that we will be able to provide instruction that is meaningful for our students to go further. All of the children in this district are our concern, and the concern is to see that they get the very best education that not only your tax dollars, but all of our tax dollars can provide in a way that is appropriate. And again, I want to reiterate that we are open to your comments and your suggestions, and I would ask you that please feel free, if not in speaking here, to take the time to write and share them with us so we can also make sure that it's part of our consideration.
I appreciate that, and I'd just like to close with the following. You just mentioned multiple committees, multiple efforts, many hours, I'm sure, have been spent and devoted to coming to this point that we've now reached and having this discussion tonight. However, you've also mentioned that all of your efforts may be just completely disregarded should the state decide to implement its own guidelines. So what you've been doing, in essence, is talking amongst yourselves when the possibility exists that all that talk and time would have been for nothing.
What we've been doing is following the state guidelines in the report, which is the road to recovery, which we were entrusted to do and which the community elected us on the board to do. So I have a lot of respect for your opinion and welcome suggestions that you would make and hope that you will forward them to us.
I will give you my last statement and I will close with this. I appreciate you guys indulging me here. I apologize if it's come off in any offensive way. I don't mean so. However, in conclusion, if it is not safe for the schools to reopen without the use of masks for children, then why are you reopening?
That's we're ordered to.
Ordered to? So under
State.
orders, okay.
State mandate to reopen.
The state at this point has ordered us to develop a reopening plan
Sir,
that must be submitted
sir,
before school starts.
do you know who
So,
else?
yeah, the state has ordered us to devise the plan at this
Do you know
point.
who else historically has answered with that exact same response? All the Nazi SS.
Oh, come on.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Okay, can we have the next person, please?
Okay, this is Manaz Shirazi Wang. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Manaz Shirazi Wang, 94 Sykes Avenue. Mine is just a statement. My daughter is in the ESY program, and I have to say how wonderful of a